Camera's rolling, Arvo? Also tripod?
Yeah.
The feeling it's only personal.
I didn't hear you leave. I wonder how am I still here. And I don't wanna change a thing. It might change my memory. Oh, I am what I am.
I do what I want,
But
but
I
I
can't
can't
hide.
hide.
And
I
I won't
won't
go.
go.
I
I
can't
won't
sleep.
sleep.
I can't breathe until you're resting here with me. And I won't leave.
I can't hide. I cannot be
until you're resting here with me.
Okay, great. Thanks, guys. That's the end of part 1, the blindfold. This is part 2 and 3, the intro and Halloween exits. Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here at Red Herring Piet's Escape Room. I'm Ivan. I'm joined tonight by Sophia Dinkel, Max Grund, Arvo Leo. Garments are by Good and Bad, which is Marina M. Kolushova, Victor Stuhlmann, Ossi Lehtonen. Thanks really a lot to Annette and Martin for hosting us in the Huis Bosschaert. And thank you so much, really, to the Mondrian Initiative for bringing us all together today. On the subject of gratitude, maybe it's good that we just put a word to the dance I was just doing. Sophia, maybe you can help me show them? Oh, you got rid of your blindfold. Great. It went, I love my life. I love my dog. I love my bird. Back to neutral. I love my hat. I love my wings. I love my shoulders and my shadow. I love my life. I love my dog. I love my bird. I love my hat. I love my wings. I love my shoulders and my shadow. Okay, audience, you guys. It's time for you to also try. We've got a lot to be grateful for. And here's just my list. So do your version of what you think I'm doing. The words are like this. I love my life. Oh, you can stay seated. Stay seated. Don't worry. No problem. I love my life. I love my dog. I love my bird. Tweet, tweet. I love my hat. I love my wings. I love my shoulders. And my shadow. Great. Thank you. You saw me do 2 variations in size earlier as well. Obviously, larger, smaller. That's all for that. When I was a child, I played an inter-school problem-solving game which dealt with environmental unbalance by presenting different animals, plants, terrains as villains, foreign agents who come to disrupt the biosphere. We competed to win things like chocolates and certificates. And this is where I first heard the phrase red herring. So, to bend my understanding of its definition to this context, well, a red herring is something that you think is the problem, but is actually not the problem. So this show is named Red Herring, Piet's Escape Room. And the workshop setting, well, I always took the role of the obvious instructor teacher, but then there was always this gap between stating something and putting into practice. And sometimes I found myself really saying stuff, and then I was like, duh, that's so obvious. It's too obvious. Like, what's even to explain here? This is all just nature, no? It's natural. We all know who Piet is, but okay, yeah, like escape rooms, So obviously this is an environment that's exterior, but even the interior promises a level of penetrability. I've been thinking about what it means to construct artificial conditions that produce a different state of mind. Like a holiday, or like a residency, like a game where you're under pressure to beat a time limit. I propose we think of limits as a stylization of time, because with limits, our beliefs can come to the surface.
Transparency is infrastructure, isn't it?
When I was a little boy, I come from I wouldn't say poor, but I guess we were poor by most standards. We were not a well-off family. We would all be round the table. But dinner wasn't a big kind of gathering meal. It was really much more of a pragmatic, you need fuel kind of situation.
Infrastructure, like portals, doors, windows, but also pipes, wires, sewage, gas, it all connects. But all these connections are about blockages, diverting things into passages so others can stay clear. Blockage is murk. Murk is what so much infrastructure proposes to eliminate. But does it?
So, we'd all run in. My mom would always cook. The food it wasn't homemade from scratch. Once again, it's probably due to the sort of financial situation. I don't know. But also I'm one of 6 kids. That's a lot of children to juggle, you feel? Yeah. And so the sort of food we'd have would be, well, she used to do nice chicken and chips sometimes, and that would be home cooked. But often it'd be stuff like steak or kidney pie, which I still have a very big soft spot for. So we grew up without money. But you know, it's weird, odd, because the absence of money is something you're not aware of, unless you experience the opposite.
Vacancy, an absence of pleasure. What did you eat? Meaning, what did you produce your waste from?
We'd have, like, you know, tomato soup or spam sandwiches, which is a delicious treat. If you've never tried it, you dip a spam sandwich into a tomato soup and then it's delicious. Good for special occasions, even.
Processor. Processing. Mm. We loved the idea of Halloween. We brought it into our home even before we had kids. Trick or treat. We had treats always. Not that many kids came. And when we had children, we'd go out with them and we were always a little bit disappointed how few houses were joining. So we wanted our place to always be a Halloween house. To mark it, in earlier years, I hired some costumes, several costumes. I would scare the kids in one location as a werewolf. Then when they were led on by my wife, I'd run around and get into a Dracula costume. One year I had the flu. Now that was a really scary year. But also your grandma, one year, was pretending to be a witch in a caravan. But weirdly, I think she didn't get the right message because when the kids were there, she was talking to them about slightly inappropriate things, about you'll be a woman soon and you'll have to deal with things. I was like, what are you doing? They're 9.
She was saying, women are controlled by the moon and the tides. And we were like, that's scary in a different way, but real, I guess. As the children got older, we got more extravagant and built a maze. Hired actors, and when the kids were older, I invited my own friends and would hire 40 or 50 actors and go all out. You'd go in one room and it was The Exorcist, or The Ring, a woman emerging from the TV screen chasing people away. One year I based on Cabin in the Woods. Have you seen that film?
It's a freaking masterpiece! But you know, I can't do suspense.
One of the things in that film was that everyone's being watched by people on the control tower who watch how they react to the horrific things they're being put through. I let 8 people go in at once. And the whole time they were being watched. And when you got to my simulation of the control tower, showing on many screens, there'd be footage of you entering. You'd been surveilled the whole time. 200 people went through this maze. 200. But only 2 people noticed the work I did. No one else.
You were so furious. You said, "Didn't you like the bit at the end?" And they'd say, "Yeah, the zombies were scary." You said, "What about the other thing?" What other thing? You were so mad.
Before we continue, Sophia, let me check your microphone. Can you say something?
I'm saying something?
Is that amplifying? Not really. Okay. I think because it dropped out before. If everyone's okay with turning their phone to airplane mode, then I think that like the amount of signals reducing will make this more secure as a performance. If that's okay. Because we were fine before, and maybe it was on the other side of your body, but
It's on.
it's on. Yeah, I was getting a signal here at the mixer too. Would you mind? Can we actually swap it to this side?
Yeah,
of the
sure.
body? Sorry, guys. But you can still kind of hear the dialogue, right? It set up the Halloween. Great. Cool.
I need help.
Yeah.
It goes behind.
I think that's
Wait. No.
here. And test the line.
Test the mic. Is this better?
Not necessarily, because there's a crap.
1, 2. 1, 2. Better?
Okay, good.
Okay.
Sorry. Thanks.
Oh. 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 I should have said. I'm so absent-minded lately. I don't know where my man has gone, but yeah, that section is about the pleasure of playing roles and emulating familiar horrific scenarios for pleasure. Again, thanks for being here. There's something I'm doing across this whole residency that relates to the question of representation, which I approach from a contemporary-ish technological standpoint. And I'm also looking through histories of modernism, you know? So enter Gertrude Stein as a figure from the early 20th century, whose persona is now held strongly beside the legacy of her work. just like Piet Mondrian. We look at Gertrude Stein now and position her still in the age of celebrity. The age of celebrity is where the public has a conception of what a figure stands for, external to their profession. I'm standing here with you in courtroom culture. Courtroom culture is where we define figures by their announced and declared forms of conflict. I mean to say, the following is a text by Gertrude Stein from around the time that Mondrian was living in Laren in World War I. It's called Portraits of Constance Fletcher, and this was chosen to be read as a chorus by a group of teenage girls.
When she was quite a young one, she knew she had been in a family living. She was one then, when she was a young one, thinking about having been having family living. She was one thinking about this thinking. She was one feeling, thinking about this thing. She was one feeling, being one who could be completely having feeling and being one who was having family living. She was one having. She was one who had had family living. When she was a young one, she was one having. She was one having had family living. She was one thinking about having family living, about having had family living. When she was a young one, she was thinking about having family living. She was thinking about having had family living. She was feeling having had family living. She was feeling having family living. When she was a young one, she was feeling having had family living. She was feeling having family living. She was knowing when she was a young one that she could be completely feeling in having family living, in having had family living. She was knowing when she was a young one. She was knowing that she was thinking. She was knowing that she was feeling in having family living, in having had family living. She was thinking and feeling having family living. She could be completely feeling having had family living. She was thinking in being one who could be completely feeling having family living. She was feeling in being one who could be completely feeling having had, who could be completely feeling having family living. She was living and feeling and thinking having family living. She was then a young one. She was then quite a young one. She was later a little and older one. She was then feeling in being one loving. She was then thinking in being one loving. She was then living in being one loving. She could be then one being completely loving. She was thinking and feeling in being one who could be completely loving. She was coming then to be a full one. She was coming then to be thinking and feeling in this thing, in being one, being completely filled one. She was full then. She was filling in then, in being one, living and loving, in living and thinking, in being loving, in living and feeling, being one, being loving. She was full then, and was not then losing anything. She was thinking then, she was feeling then, she was thinking then, and feeling then in being full then. Because she could be the one being completely full. She was thinking in being one who could be completely full. She was feeling in being one who could be completely full. She was always living in being one, feeling, and feeling one who could be completely full. She was full then, and she was thinking and feeling in this thing, feeling in this thing. She was thinking and feeling being full then. She was thinking and feeling in being one who could be completely full. She was completely feeling in to be a full one, and she always was a full one. She was thinking and feeling in being a full one. She was thinking and feeling in being a full one. She was thinking in feeling in being a full one. She was feeling and thinking in being a full one. If they move in the shoe, there is everything to do. They do not move in the shoe.
that I see.
The language
a
of education
darkness,
is not replacing the special
I
position that
see
is the
a
expression of the
darkness,
emanation of evil.
that I see
There
a
is the expression when
darkness.
contemplation
Do
is
you
not
know how
connecting
much
the
I
object that is
love
in position with the
you?
forehead that is
Is
returning,
there
looking.
hope that somehow you
It is not overpowering.
would save me
That is a cruel
from
description.
this darkness?
The memory is the same, and surely the one who is not older is not dead. Yet, although if he has been blind, he is seeing. This has not
I
any
hope that
meaning.
someday, buddy,
All the bells that
we
are
have
the
got
same are
peace
not
in
stirring,
our
and the languid
lives.
graces are not out of place, and the older
Together
fur
or
is disappearing.
apart,
There is not such an end.
alone or
If it had
without
happened, that the little
wives,
flower was larger,
then we'll
and the white
stop
color was
our
deeper,
whoring
and the silent light
pull
was
the
darker,
smiles
and the passage was rougher, it would have been as it was, and a triumph was in the place where the light was bright and the beauty was not losing having that possession. That was not what was tenderly. This is the piece of the health that was strange. This is when there was the disappearance that had not any origin. The darkness was not the same. There was the writing and the preparation that was pleasing and succeeding in being enterprising. It was not subdued when there was discussion. It was done when there was the room, but that was not a dream. This is all to prepare the way that is not the way to like anything that in speaking is telling what is to come. Like a swelling is inside when there is yellowing. There is that liking that does not shape the way to say that there is not anything, anywhere, anything that is resembling. Perfection is not adulteration. There is the substance that has not any defect. If the program is not despondent, and it has that substance, and then certainly the beginning is the tender blessing that unfolding is not subduing. The quiet is not so sound, but there can be a change of origin. There can be that elevation. This is not that argument. There is a work that has that place, and there is a garden. A little taller bending does not haste the erection of a grotto that has the fountain. That is so soon. To pardon, that is to have seen that there was a long way to stare when the heat was the same as there was when the voices were together. This was the temptation, and so solidly was there when there was there that the whole reception was not filled with more than all every day who would come anywhere and had heard that there was. This did not mean more than all. It meant all. And the result of the precious and precise way was that there was that preparation and not that disintegration when there was that distinct evolution. There could be the same if anyone was certain that there is not any evolution. This does not make a tedium that is eternal so particular that listening is a blessing. This is not disguise a flower. Come in, and that expression is not one of waiting. To use a name is not the time that seeing has not seen. This is discussion. This is obligation. This is the composition. Okay, good. That's the end of that section. And now we move on to another bit with possible audience participation. This is part 5. It's in 3 parts, and it's called chasing. So originally there'd be 4 people, and one of them would be the innocent, and the 3 others would be the aggressors. And so what would happen is you'd have someone decide who's going to start, and then you kind of like pile in succession. We've modified it, so it's going to be 2 pairs. So I'd like to find 4 volunteers, please. 4 people who are happy to be chasing. Martin? Anyone? Chasing? Yeah? Amy? Okay. Who will join Amy? What's your name, sorry? Vika. Lovely to meet you, Vika. I'm looking for 2 more people. It's really best compositionally with 2 pairs. Yeah? Okay, okay. Then we have Martin and 1 other person. Yeah? I've met you before. What's your name again, sorry? Tineke. Great to see you again. Okay. So you can already, I think you're already kind of ready. Amy, Vika, Tineke, Martin. You can kind of stay where you are. Or Tineke, you can stand up and come forward so you have the best view of what Sophia and I are going to do. So what we're going to show you is a chase where we're going to try to like take levels, and you can see that it's really just fun. I think it'll go for like 90 seconds. We disappear and reappear, and we'll come back around. And then this is like supposed to give you inspiration for what you'll do. Okay? Microphone down. Okay. Ready? So you can just kind of hang out here and watch, and then you'll see us demonstrate what these volunteers should be doing. Ready? No!
Yes!
Hey, no! Change! Okay, something like that. Okay. Imagine us doing this in 35-degree heat. All good, Sophia?
Yeah.
Right. Wig is still in place. These pins work. Okay. So, the idea is there's going to be music playing. The scene I kind of sing a song, which is this Stein lyric again. Oh, microphone's not on. Oh, now you can hear me. And we will give the volunteers a 40-second head start, so you can just go. The song is around 4 minutes long, so you're going to get tired. And so if you want, just disappear into a bush and rest there before starting again. And you can like swap roles, as you saw us do. And you don't have to scream change, but if it helps it mark it for yourself, please feel very free to. If you are done kind of earlier, then feel free to just hide behind a tree. So then you're out of sight. And then at the end of the song, we'll applaud and collect you. Sound good? Yeah, let's rock. Okay. Okay, volunteers, go. I forgot to limit their path. Oops. places might there with all the cow bright. Keep and combine call, kill it, capture flame, and the blame bone. Steady, later flame breaks. Cold way in a change. Harsh is the feeling, talking only personal white lip, single tin. Silly, solid veil storm. Curve the second place. Harsh is the feeling, talking only personal white lip, single tin. Silly, solid veil storm. Curve the second place. Keep and combine call, kill it, capture, collecting verses, peace, call veils and places might there with all the cow bright. Harsh is the feeling, talking only purr and the blame bone. Steady, later flame breaks. Cold way in the chain. Harsh is the feeling, personal white lip, silly, solid veil storm. Curve the second place. Okay, great. Thank you so much to the volunteers. Please come back around. Vera, Vika, Amy, Martin, Tinika, thank you so much. Great. You have that. Give me the camera. La la la. Woo! Great. So good. Did you have fun? Wait, do you need a drink or something? Everyone has a cold beer? I mean, we can see if there's... okay. Yeah. Sure. We'll just start the next section. Arvo here, you're with me. Hey Arvo, say this after me into here. Penetrate to the essence of the picture.
Penetrate to the essence of the picture.
A gradual process beginning with natural forms.
A gradual process beginning with natural forms.
And increasingly progressing toward abstraction.
And increasingly progressing towards abstraction.
Again.
Again.
Penetrate to the essence of the picture.
Penetrate to the essence of the picture.
A gradual process.
A gradual process.
Beginning with natural forms.
Beginning with natural forms.
And increasingly progressing towards abstraction.
And increasingly progressing towards abstraction.
Good, thank you. Okay, guys. A painting of a peasant woman reduced to an essential pattern of vertical and horizontal lines. Is she still there? Look at Piet's abstract works, such as composition in black and white with double lines. You know it? He continued to emphasize that neoplasticism, developed when he was in his late 40s, was a result of a process of abstraction from nature. The neoplastic paintings consist essentially of right angles formed from black, vertical, and horizontal lines, along with white, and the three primary colors, red, yellow, and blue. Our eyes open, seeking any chromatic nuance. Such movement, mystically contemplating another dimension. Goethe suggesting that painting has the power of producing a much more perfect visible world than the actual one can be. What did you leave behind? Abandon and escape, retreat from war, escape. What is our peace made of? How will you sustain it? Is peace a good choice? Is it paralyzing and crippling? Is it just the lesser evil? Can we afford, from this position of peace, to truly understand what is going on around us? Or do we need to shut down to protect ourselves and our loved ones? In Mondrian's view, the reduction and concentration on the essential elements of the image, eliminating the subjective as far as possible, and approximating absolute objectivity, led to the rendering of the pure reality that can only be expressed through the equilibrium of dynamic movement of form and color. I sometimes feel like money interferes with all my perception. But isn't the absence of money the absence of peace? How much is our peace worth? Can we price it? Do we have to pay for it? Is peace something that can so easily swing outside of our control? Painting, then, as pleasantly false, a prismic transformation. Piet loves theosophy. He intends his pictures to be vehicles for a universal spiritual dimension beneath the surface of the visible world. And this notion pervades almost the entirety of Mondrian's work, but especially in the period of neoplasticism. The painting is an escape room. Cubism, which Mondrian experienced firsthand in Paris, led him to abandon his focus on color and turn instead to the structures of the painting, abstracting the forms of nature to the point of non-objectivity. I turn my non-objective gaze upon the field. I'm looking from inside the house to outside. The horizon is dropped. The horizon is tugged higher. The gaze is tilted. I'm running fast because I am free. The running I do is at my own choice. Look at my shoes. I'm running so fast around in patterns. I practice going fast. I practice going slow. I try to see where I'm going next. I see who I am going with. And then there are the things that I know. Okay, we're coming up to the last section. Ooh. I'm going to finish the text that the girls would have started before, that I started before. Constance Fletcher, Gertrude Stein. Then finish with a song that paraphrases Junichiro Tanizaki's text in praise of shadows, which I was first interested in as a suggestion of this non-Western premise of architecture, which moves against brightly lit spaces. There's a very evocative section about toilets, dark toilets, traditional Japanese toilets. The toilet and kitchen are, of course, sites of waste production, exit, escape. This is supposed to come together with this Rietveld house, interior, exterior, freedom, light, space, windows as gaps in representation and enactment, gratitude as something we experience, as opposed to a mode where we play out whims into modern forms in the mission of progress, hopeful stylizations. Okay. Nothing is all old. That is not the redoubtable repudiation. That has that precious meaning when the hindrance is not that little pain, which is not the same as the passing out of what is not about when it is there. When there is no care to say that anything is better. Everything has that description. That is not reorganization. The way they say that they went away is the way that the passages come to be adhered. This is not the token that shows the steering that is not broken. The meaning is that the precious picture is the bargain that has not met the ancient day when there is everything to say. The light is finer. That is not that discrimination. That is the way to have that to keep where there is not any interdiction. She had that name, mark the data that tells the merit of having that time to stay. That not to wait is to say that the door has not been entered. If to wait marks a place where the entrance, if it is made, comes to be approached, then to do what is not done is to do all that and carefully, which is that which is solid does not fill the space. That is not a disclosure. That is not the way for all of them who refuse to see. That is not all any such way. So this is not that decree. There is no failure. There is no condition of excision. Particle of all the color is that which is not white and the black which is open is not older, but the time has come for black to be younger. The meaning of this is that why the difference is always louder is that which is above that, which is all there is, and there is much is that there is all that there has that reason to be, which is the reason that all is certain, and this which is not mentioned and which does not make that which is lost is the same, and has a detail which does not make any escaping remain separate. This is a joint all, and all is enough, so that the whole, which is not parted, has not the place where sticking makes anything that is wet dry. This is not the mistake when softness is union. The first time, winning distinction is discretion, and all who are going are the three, who have not that distraction. They have not all the hardihood. They are not separated. The two who are not older are not remaining to be interesting. They are not undertaking any beginning. Excellent is the same union. Breathless is not the shade when the opening is not limiting. They do not seem in that place that was any end. If three are eager and plainer and having that full temper, and if all of them unite in that happy way that makes a garden give the way to be there where there is a way, if there is a last time and a young time is a stolen beauty, then the way it has been said that the white flower has not been bled is the way to remember that decision is not the same as crumpling a parting. She did not animate what was mechanical. She has not this to do. If the practice of the present and the practice of the past, and there is any practice in the present of the future, then latterly there is not any change. If the way to say the turn is the turn, the way that is the way to turn that way, then all the thing is in that thing. There's all of that painstaking. A while, there's no band. A while, the train is late. A while, the turn is full. A while, the sounds have the tone. A while, there's a subtle waste. And this is not to say that anything that is given away is given away. Nothing is wasted that is not given away. And anything that is given away is wasted. The appearance is not the only way to say that what is given away is wasted, and nothing is given away. It is so remained. That which is not tiring, and that which is not aiding any of that which is not needing tiring. That was the sampler. And there was not the sewing which was using any corner. that did not need the same width as all that is solid is using, which is not wider. That which is solid is all that is wider, and the rest is not that which has that passing odor, which is not passing, it is not past anything. It is not the only primrose. It has a sentence that in placing what is not that care, has all that is, which is all there, where there any more care is most care. There where the time is not cruel is a place where the time is, what is filling the hearth and the hole, and no passage has that intention that can be intended, when that is all that is solid is not building any house. All houses are open, that is to say, a door and a window and a table and the waiter. Maybe the shadow is smaller, and the shadow, which is larger, is not flickering. Of shadows, I want my toilet dark, no distractions, back to me, in praise of shadows, in praise of shadows. Sociology, understanding what it means to be in praise of shadows. Do you have a taste for tradition? What do you think of as perfection? You could quibble over matters of taste. Quibble, quibble. But still, there are some things unnegotiable. Simple things like, does your house stave off the cold? Does it keep your food clean? Does your house, does it know? In praise of shadow. Thank you.